hey, Crystal, we got to put out Senator Bernie Sanders, the GOAT, as always, sticking to his principle. Let's put it up here on the screen. Here's what he had to say. If microchip companies make a profit from the generous grants they receive from the federal government, the taxpayers of America have a right to a reasonable return on that investment.
Bernie's principle, 100% agree with. Unfortunately, I just know that Trump is going to use this to do some like stupid, corrupt,
gold chip. Well, the first gold chip ever manufactured.
Well, I mean, not only that, like, I think it's also important for people to really sit with, these chips are incredibly important. They genuinely are, which is part of the case for why we should have a direct interest. And yes, I think Bernie's principle is totally true, that if we are giving these companies all these subsidies, and Bernie, I think, actually opposed the Chips and Science Act or had some issues with it because of all the, the taxpayer subsidies. So I think it's reasonable to say, yes, the American people should benefit from the profits. However, because this is such a critical industry, we're talking about for defense, we're talking about for aerospace, we're talking about for EVs, for like the industries of the future, renewable energy, so critical. You could just see the way Trump would use this sway to, punish his political opponents, to reward his cronies, all of those sorts of things. And so that's why it's like, well, we'll see.
I love how she's like, I love this idea if someone like Bernie Sanders did it. But because Trump did it, this is awful.
That's exactly the point. And like everyone listening right now, even if you're a Trump supporter, can understand how stupid of a point you just made, which is that I am 100% on board with Bernie's principle. And Bernie's principle is what Trump just did. He literally made this argument, and we made fun of him for it. And by the way, if you're listening, so did you. Okay? And don't lie and say that you didn't. All right? Because I know you're trying to lie and say that you didn't. But when Bernie made this point a couple of years ago, you were like, socialist, communist, F you, Bernie.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't lie and say that you were totally fine with it when Bernie was talking about it. The point that she just made, that she loves Bernie's principle, but Trump and everyone who is in support of Trump doing this should also think about the flip side of that argument, because you are currently making the same argument she is.
What if Bernie was doing this? You'd all be against it.
Everyone who wants Trump to do it would be against it if it were Bernie, if it were Kamala, if it were Joe Biden. If this would have been in the Chips and Science Act, we would have never heard the end of it. Joe Biden signed it. It was not part of it. Okay. But if it would have been in it, that would have been used in campaigns, all kinds of stuff. We would have seen commercials about it. People would have talked about it every single day. But since it's Trump, they're totally fine. But guess what? Trump is, I don't know how old. It's old. It's really old. Okay. He's not going to be here for forever. He's in fact in his second term. Someone is going to be the president, not named Donald Trump, in 2029. Okay. I don't know who that person's going to be. You think it might be J.D. Vance? I think it might be Gavin Newsom. Are you cool with that? Are you cool with, if you don't institute absolute 100% DEI policies in this framework, and all, by the way, you got to make sure that you're building your factories and my best friends' towns, and
everyone needs a COVID shot.
Yeah, whatever else. If you don't make sure that everyone there is absolutely mandated to get transgender surgeries, then then we're going to sell all of our stock. It's all going to be gone, and we're going to destroy your company. You'd be against that happening, which means if you're going to be a principled person, you'd have to be against it happening right now too, because that absolutely could happen. Maybe not as ridiculous, but probably ridiculous in a different way that we're not thinking about right now.